What's up, everybody? It's your girl Raquel Shelby with the Porch Talk Podcast. This is episode 15. How is everybody feeling today? Everybody good?
We good.
Oh, yeah.
Now, listen, Deanna wasn't able to make it today. She had some unforeseen occurrence, but I got my girl, Miss Fifi, to plug in the background, so she might be chiming in. And make sure y'all tune into her show on Tuesday, 8 p.m. It's the pink part. She goes live on podcasting. Yes, the pink part. We want to shout out our sponsor, Scouts Honor Clothing Company. Yes, they've got some fly gear. And you ladies may want to check out that Army fatigue jacket they got. It's fly. I'm trying to get me one. So make sure you check them out. So today we are talking about Battle of the Sexes. That is the topic of today. And so I got a couple questions. So in a relationship or marriage with children, sometimes women lose who they are and their identity becomes that of their family. This can become mentally and emotionally taxing. How do you guys feel about that?
You said their identity gets lost and the family identity becomes theirs.
Right. So let me further explain. So here's the thing. Before you have a family and you have kids, you have your own rigmarole or how you roll and do things. When you have a family, it becomes about your family. You have to become a family person. I mean, you don't have to. Some people don't. They'd be like, fuck them kids and my spouse. But
It's very true.
Things change. And with the routine changing, you get in the routine of being a family person, and then you begin to lose you. So how do y'all feel about that? Have you heard a lot of people say that?
In my humble opinion,
okay.
When you have kids, you give up certain individual things. That's just what happens. I mean, if you understand how life works, I mean, when you bring in another element into the world like that, you automatically gonna lose a lot of individual things. So that's just natural. Losing a part of yourself, so to speak, it's just gonna come with the territory. So
I think, I think that it has to do with growth. I mean, I don't look at having a family as losing anything really, because it was always a part of my lexicon, I guess. I mean, it was always something that I knew that I was going to do. It was basically the natural progression of life. I mean, you lose old things to gain new things. So it's not necessarily losing something, it's actually gaining for me. You know what I mean? Like how they say, a man loses his daughter but gains a son when their daughter get married. It's pretty much how you look at it,
So it's more of you saying it's more of a change, like a
evolutionary change, a natural progression in life, an evolutionary change. You grow up. I mean, you lose, for instance, when it comes to men, you lose the cheap pair of sneakers when you go from size 7 to size 8. You know what I mean? You lose that price that you was paying for the for them 7s, and now you in the 8s, and you pay full price, but you an adult now. You know what I mean? So I kind of look at things like that, man. Like I know that's kind of basic, but I don't look at kids as stopping me from doing anything. If anything, when it comes to men, it kind of motivate us to go a little bit harder in the paint.
Right, but don't you think it's still healthy you were hanging out with your boys, you had certain things. Do you think it's still healthy to do those things, even in a relationship, to still have a part that you separate yourself from your family? Not saying you ditch them, but, we going to go on a guy's night, a girl's night, stuff like that.
It's very healthy, in my opinion. I have a group of friends that I went to college with. We're real close. 90% of them are married or engaged. It's very important to have that night of being away, so to speak, of your family. Don't get me wrong, we don't knock anyone who doesn't come to that night, but that one night from the mouths of my friends, it's very therapeutic and very needed you know, to just kick it with the guys, you know what I'm saying? Not worry about other stuff, you know.
But you know what? I think that it's more women than men that complain about that. You know, I mean, obviously, unfortunately, in the Black community, men ain't got no problem dipping, you know what I mean, on their family and their responsibility. But not more than other groups, I can tell you that. But yeah, you know, we still do our thing with our kids because I think men is just a little bit we just do our own thing the way we do it. You know what I mean? We really do our own thing, especially with our children. We don't have a problem being fathers sitting back and drinking with our kids in the background. We don't have a problem with that. We don't need really no individualized situation, you know what I mean? Separate. I mean, because we are our children, you know what I mean? Our children are us, you know what I mean? So separating ourselves from our children is kind of like separating ourselves from a part of us.
Ain't that cute?
Well, okay, I'll put it this way. Okay, like when it comes to me, I think it was today, I was just really thinking about, I haven't went out nowhere with my girls in the longest time. And I think really all of them are kind of doing their own thing and they've gotten into the rigmarole of whatever. They're not even necessarily married, but they have gotten into the working and the grind, and we're not taking time out. So it's just the same old thing. Work, come home, do, you know, your chores as whatever.
It's needed. I mean, even if it's going over your homegirl house, you know, I want to make sure it's not misinterpreted. When we saying guys out, we don't mean we going out to the club. We going out we go over one of our houses and play poker.
Exactly.
It's just guys.
Right.
So that's very therapeutic because now we get to talk about things that we may not talk about with our wife or our woman. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, you know, because sometimes you just need to vent, even if it's about nothing bad. It could be joking. Like most of our nights, we just busting out laughing. Like that shit is therapeutic.
It is therapeutic because one thing I know about men, and this happens with me even to this day, and I think it's a little bit easier for me because I am a twin, so I don't understand individualism at all. You know what I mean? I don't understand how people can go along in this life and not have somebody challenge a person's reality or their mindset. I don't understand that. Okay. But I will tell you that when we do go and, you know, be just amongst us, it's a lot of goddamn checking back and forth. I mean, we are going to check each other so hard, you know what I mean, to get us. If one of us is on some bullshit, it's gonna get called out. You know what I mean? Good. It's gonna get called out. You know what I mean? And it could be in a joking way, but it is definitely gonna get called out. And that's where the therapy comes in at. And I think that we don't have enough of that. You know what I mean? We don't have enough opportunities for that to exist. And that's why in my core group, we always do things that whatever we do, we can incorporate our kids. You know, so when you say going over to each other's houses, you can bring your child up there. No, y'all go ahead, go up in that room. You know what I mean? Y'all go upstairs or this, that, and the third. You know, I'll come get you when I'm ready to go. Something like that. And I see that women don't do that nowadays.
Well, my people didn't do that growing up.
We definitely did.
We stayed at home with my mom. Remember, I always told you, like, I got tired of that.
Right.
You know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, we were confined to the basement. Like, I go over to my uncle's house or my auntie's house, and it was like, all right, y'all go in the basement. And we just did the kid thing in the basement. But my mom is one of 12. You see what I'm saying? So we was always going somewhere, always somewhere. And she dropped, you know, maybe she dropped us. I don't know what they were doing up there. Have it the slightest idea, did not care. You know what I mean? I just knew that I was over my cousin's house and we was doing whatever, and, you know, they was doing whatever.
Sure, it involved brown liquor.
But you know what? See, my family really didn't drink. They did other things. They definitely ain't, you know, you know, they didn't drink, but, you know, so, but I mean, we just had that, I guess I know how to do it. And if you've never seen it, you don't know how to do it. So I can understand you feeling like you've lost something, or some people or some women feel like they've lost something um, with kids, because you got to share a lot. And if you don't know how to do that, if you don't know how to be yourself with your children, yeah, you're gonna have a tough time. You're gonna have a tough go at it, But
I personally want to ask women like to be more specific to what they feel like they losing.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, when they like single, they live a certain lifestyle versus when they in a relationship or married or have kids. So I want a more detail.
Yeah, I like that.
Like what do you feel like you missing?
Mm-hmm.
Because as a man who, the only thing that I really feel like I miss prior to kids is just, I guess, sports. I guess, I didn't, I played a lot of sports. So, once I got more responsibilities, that extra free time to go to different parks and play pickup games or whatever, it just wasn't there. But
right.
I don't really feel like, but I'm not married either. So I don't know that part of the equation of, sharing everything like that. But like I said, you got to know, and I guess this comes from your parents and, learning from other people, but you got to know what you getting into when you decide to have kids, when you decide to get married.
Right.
You got to understand that, because like you said, it's not really losing, it's changing. You got to be ready for that change.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
You got to know what that change look like ahead of time. I used to counsel. I used to train guys, but our rides to certain events, it was always me lecturing. And I know a lot of them got tired of it, but I was telling them stuff that I wish somebody would have told me prior.
Right.
So I can get ready for certain things in life, so I can already be mentally prepared, because it's a change.
Yeah,
it's
a definitely
big change.
Yeah. It's something to get used to. I mean, I joke about the fact that, when I moved into the suburbs, and that changed from the hood to the suburbs, and I tell you, it was a very very scary situation, because I literally be sitting back, man, and I my wife would be at the house, I mean at work, and I'm sitting there like, damn, man, it's so damn quiet, I can't hear nothing. You know what I mean? And so I get scared. But yeah, I mean, change definitely can be scary. I wish people would have kind of like warned me and let me know, hey man, it's definitely gonna be change. And change is difficult for anybody. So yeah, I like that, getting clarification of what it is that women feel that they lost with gaining a family. Like, to me, it's not all responsibility. I love my children. They make me laugh. It's just amazing to see different characteristics, traits that's in them that was in me, and no one taught this to them. It's just in them.
Yes, they are definitely like their dad.
I mean, it's amazing to me. And then the things they do, like they mama. Yeah, I don't know.
What do they do like their mama? Anyway,
a whole lot.
What up? Go ahead, boo.
Spend all my money like their mama.
I think that
oh boy,
for the most part, with women, just no, and I don't have children and I'm not married, but I could just say from the outside looking in, it appears that most of the women that I know that are in families and stuff, have a family, have a husband and children and stuff, because the woman has to quarterback the whole household. Like,
okay.
Like they really have to take on the burden of everybody that's in the house. It kind of lets you lose your individuality. I'm not saying that, that the man does not have a role, but at the beginning, y'all both said that men kind of y'all tend to get away and be able to do your things or whatever that you have to do, to release. And women kind of be left holding the bag, not that it's a bad thing, it's just what the position is. So sometimes you can lose sight of how to get away and just have your own individuality in the midst of all of that.
Yes, because I think it's the role that we play. Like I think she's getting to that makes it like that. I'm not saying like people are saying it's a bad thing being at home with your kids. It's just that you have to take out time for you. And
women don't do that.
Post the call number. I think Whitney want to call in. Hey, girl. She want to call in. Y'all, please call in. We want to hear what you guys have to say.
We definitely need to get more specific.
Oh Lord.
Because I definitely want to know what do you feel that you've lost as a woman who have children and that's like married? You know, like what
So that
what do you
wasn't
feel?
nothing?
What do you feel that you can do, or what do you feel that you were doing before you had kids and that you were married that you can't do now?
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, answer
Actually polishing your nails and letting them dry. That's
Lord
it. Just simple
Jesus.
stuff like that. Like just being able to just polish your nails and just let them just being able to sit there and let them dry. You don't got to go tie no shoes. You don't got to go and sweep the kitchen, wash. You know what I'm saying? Like some extra stuff, like pick up clean boogers out of baby nose or
You
something
know-
like that or whatever. I'm
now
just
see-
saying.
Go ahead.
I just want to
Go
say,
ahead.
why you can't just do that when they sleep, when they go to bed?
Because he won't. Okay. I'm gonna shut up.
No, go ahead. What?
Yeah,
Well,
go
you was
ahead.
about to get personal.
Right.
No, what he won't do?
No, but that's the time that you are really kind of giving more attention to the head of the household. Because if you go to him and be like, "Baby, let me just sit up here and polish my nails while you trying to get some," you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? They still gonna be messed up.
What's the number? You was crazy, and you're right.
I mean, you talking to the wrong type of guys there.
You see it
'cause
with?
I like girls with polished nails and all that, so I'm gonna let you do your thing because that's what I like to see. You know, I don't like to see the more crusty,
No, y'all don't
palms
like
and
to
nails.
see it, but you don't want to go through you don't want to have the patience to wait for them to dry.
Man,
The call-in number is 248
you talking to some
854.
thirsty niggas.
9850.
Go ahead, say the number again.
248-854-9850.
It's on the screen.
Yo, guys be thirsty.
It's on the screen.
Is that what it is? Thirsty.
I'll speak for me. I'll speak for me. I don't feel I've gained a lot. I will say. But
Oh, you got a call. Hold on.
oh yes. Caller, go ahead.
Caller, go ahead. Hello?
Caller.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Whitney Simpson.
Wait. You gotta turn your radio down. I mean your phone down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You all right?
Okay.
What's going on?
Yeah,
Wait.
my name is Whitney. Hey.
Hey, boo.
Hey.
What's going on?
Oh, I'm live.
Yeah, baby, you
Yeah,
live.
what's your question?
Oh, okay. My bad, y'all. My bad. Because you have to turn my thing down. But this is what I wanted to say about the whole losing yourself and stuff, because I definitely thought that, especially taking a step from, being regular or, getting married.
Mhm.
I don't feel like I've lost anything, being married. I think that, my partner understands me and me needing some me time so he can back off sometimes.
Mhm.
And he also helps me out with being, a mother. I think that just being a mother in general, we're very nurturing. I think people without kids who have dogs mother their dogs. I think that's just a part of being a mother.
Yeah.
When it comes to being a father, I think that men are dads, but they just understand that they're going to have to do their own things at times, and they don't think about the women because women are nurturers. She good at home with them kids. Right quick, I'm going to go get a drink. Like, shit, I want to get a drink too sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that sometimes makes people whatever. But going back to when that man said women should be more specific, it's hard to be specific when you don't know exactly how you feel or can't put your finger on it. Like, some people just want to break, but they don't know what they need to break from.
That's
you
deep.
know.
Okay. My response to that is, let's just say that was true what you said about men just now. When I feel like that's where communication come in at. You have to sit your man down and have a talk, without it being an argument or anything, and be like, listen, if it's okay with you, I'd like to, start out with a night every 2 weeks. Like, let me get this night to myself, maybe go over to my girlfriend's house or whatever the case may be, just some time to just kick it, because I'm just kind of getting a little stressed or just need a little, break, especially if your man already has his nights that he go out and, do his thing. That's where communication come in at. And then if he got a problem with that, maybe you talking to the wrong guy.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you like this.
Thanks for calling with.
I'm gonna tell you like this. For being completely honest, I enjoy when a wife goes out and do her own thing because me and the kids, boy, we get to rocking up in there. We get to rocking and rolling because see, what women don't realize is that when y'all are home, we kind of like waiting on y'all. You know what I mean? We kind of like, all right, we taking our cues from you. What do you want me to do? So we're in limbo. You know what I mean? Of what we need to do or what needs to be done in the household because, all right, well, I ain't gonna do nothing with the kids because she may want to do something. You know what I mean? So we kind of like in this holding pattern. To be perfectly honest,
just
you know
take
what I'm
them
saying?
if you want to take them.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It's we when the woman is at home, that man is there waiting. You know what I mean? In preparation of whatever she needs, whatever she needs, whatever that support.
Kind of like backup.
Exactly. So when you're gone, that is released. So now I can do what I need to do with the kids. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So, dip as much as you need to.
Okay, so we're going to get a word from our sponsor. We got to pay some bills, and then we're going to come back with the next question. We're going to have to run that sponsor again, but we are back. So here's the next thing. There are men that feel that women try and run the black man. There are women that feel that the black men feel to lead is to dominate and control. Thoughts on that?
Oh, wow. Say that one more again.
Okay. So remember, this was something we were talking about earlier. This is really where I got the question from. So there are men that feel women try to run them. So black men feel like the black woman is trying to run them. Mm-hmm. And then you got black women that feel like for men to lead, they have to control and dictate to them.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I can definitely answer this. It's a problem. It's definitely a problem, and I think the problem comes with a misunderstanding because generally when you go into the relationship, especially with black folks, we don't ever set parameters. We don't ever sit down and talk about the direction that you want your relationship to go. We assume a lot in a relationship. And that's generally where a lot of issues come in at, is that you're taking for granted that this person was a person before they met you. And they have their own ideas, they have their own beliefs, they have their own family structures and stuff. And they come into the relationship with that, and instead of sitting back and ironing, putting everything out on the table, it's just a lot of assumptions. And then when an issue comes up, we get barked at or we're barking at. You see what I'm saying? And that's a problem in a relationship. We shouldn't be to that point. But the controlling aspect in a relationship, I think, really comes from fear. You have a lot of fear and mistrust. Fear and mistrust in the direction that the relationship is going into. It's not a lot of faith in there. We have a lot of statistics that can point to how, relationships end. You know what I mean? I think the statistic right now is I think 85% of relationships or of marriages are the divorce rate is initiated by women. 85%. 85% of black marriages in a divorce are initiated by women.
I think it's because
Come on with it. Come on, Miss.
And to your point, no, seriously, I agree with what you're saying as far as like no communication. Like there is no communication on what the expectation of it is.
Absolutely.
And I think that that generally comes from the fact that we are not taught, because to have that conversation, like, you know, we as a culture probably kind of shunned away over the years of talking about what we expect out of something. Like when we do something, you know what I'm saying? The only thing we know to expect things from is school. Like, people don't talk about it as far as relationships. They don't talk about it as far as like what your family expectation is and stuff. A lot of times it's not even like a projected path forward for like your family and for your children and stuff. And I think that the reason why women maybe throw in the towel is because usually the man can just walk, like he can start something else outside of there and still like y'all are way better chameleons than women are, you know, as far as being able no, I'm talking about as far as being able to like go and have a whole nother lifestyle or something like that or whatever, another life, and come back home and like it's good. Women, we can't hide it like that, I think.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Because of emotions.
Yeah, so I just feel like it's easier for men to leave the situation spiritually and still be there physically than it is for a woman. So the woman is like all or nothing, and then we just go and fall out at the courthouse and file papers. I'm just saying.
Jesus.
Well, but then it goes right back to what I'm saying. We have a lot of distrust. You know what I mean? We learned a lot of things the wrong way.
And we not taught to trust.
No, we're not.
Like, we wasn't taught to, like, have faith in a man or have faith in a woman like that or whatever. You just kind of going off of however your mama treated you or however your daddy treated you is how you look at your mate a lot of times.
So let me ask this. If we smart enough to know that we don't have that type of knowledge and education, then what are we doing to get it? What are we doing what are we doing for the solution?
Well, that's hard.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why I brought that up, I really didn't ask that for the answer. The reason why I brought that up,
it's rhetorical.
The reason why I brought that up is because I don't think people try to fix that problem. I've only had one girl actually admit to me that she needs therapy because of her past. And we're just going to talk about relationships right now. We ain't even going to dive into the whole how she was brought up and all that. But she just said she need therapy for that because, you know, when you go through life and you've experienced in certain things, like you just said, that's naturally how you learn. That was your education. We are all a sum of what we went through.
Truly.
So if you know that, then why people are not trying to seek help? You know, people are so embarrassed to ask for $1, more or less ask for, you know, help me with my mentality.
Right.
Because when we was little and we used to go over somebody's house or something, our mama told us even though we was starving and we couldn't say we was hungry. And even, you know what I'm saying, like you couldn't ask for nothing and all of that. Just culturally, we were taught to deny ourselves of our true feelings and wants. And it's just and it went on. Like, you know, that's just the way it is. I'm not saying that it's something that can be reversed, but at the end of the day, it truly has to be acknowledged before it can even be, you know, something be done about it.
And a lot of us grew up with not going to therapy. We grew up going to church.
Yeah. So if it didn't come out of Revelations or Leviticus, then it didn't happen. I'm just, you know, there was no, if no solution didn't come out of them areas, then it just wasn't one. Like, you know, go ahead and keep washing your face. Get up tomorrow and do it again. That's just
Matthew.
Baby, yes.
Well, like I said, we can list off all of our problems and what we don't know and how, you know, this and that, how it affected us. But what's the solution?
I think that this is the part of a solution. This is, just to be able to have this type of candid conversation, because it doesn't happen a lot. Like,
Right.
when you do have things where it's battle of the sexes, it's always stuff like, well,
This
like
person
kind
this,
of,
this person
yeah,
that.
kind of like carnal issues and stuff or whatever, but you don't get really down to the root of just the character themselves, or just like our upbringing and stuff, just to be, to be truthful of it. We put our faults out, you put your faults out, or wherever we think that it come from, how did it stem, and go from there. Like, if you don't, yeah.
And you know what I noticed too? I noticed a lot of people try to compare, try to compare what I went through, what you went through, and all that.
Right.
And,
Just opposing.
yeah, it's just like, listen, we all been through shit.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, some shit was green, some shit was blue, some shit was brown.
It was stinking shit though.
Right.
Know
All
that.
been through shit. Let's try to help each other. Let's try to understand, and let's try to know that we both got room to grow. We both, we both don't know everything. A lot of things I run into, people just think they know everything, and it's like, we're different.
Yeah.
That may have helped you, but that may not have helped me.
Right.
Yeah.
So this just it's crazy.
But
No, I mean you're right. I mean, not to cut you off, babe, but I always say that everybody has a different threshold of pain, right? You know what I mean? Everybody has what may irritate, which, oh my Jesus, my neighbor really rubs my wife the wrong way. Jesus Christ. And it's in the beginning,
It's
it
the El
was,
Camino that's parked outside.
you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But it didn't bother me in the beginning because it was something that I was used to. You know what I mean? This was every day on my block. You know what I mean? And I took notice that was going to be an issue with, the wife's father when he was sitting. Look over there. Look at that. They over there on the grass. And I'm like, that's their grass. Why are you mad about what they're doing on their grass? But then, that's not across the street from me. But now it is across the street from me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it takes me a minute to get there, or it takes people a minute to get there, but they have to experience it. And that's the whole thing. We have different experiences, and you can't move a person. You can't fast forward a person up to valuing something that they don't value.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just be honest about that. Like, baby, that's just not important to me right now. And you just got to understand that.
You got to respect it.
Just respect it. You know what I mean? Then move on.
I've been single for some time now, and one of the reasons that I've been single is because I run into a lot of women that,
ladies, he's single.
that like literally I've gotten into arguments with women over just one thing we disagreed on.
Just a one.
Just one. And that was just
Throw the whole man away.
Listen, that was just amazing to me because, I'm a relationship guy. I like being in a relationship.
Right.
Like, they missed out on so much being so, I'm going to think of the right word.
No, just use the wrong one.
Being so ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Being so ignorant.
Right.
Like you're not going to agree with everybody on everything. And that should be okay. That's so basic maturity 101.
Yeah.
You're not going to agree with everybody. So if you don't agree, that's cool. I understand. We grew up differently. We see things differently. Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It's
pretty retarded. Go ahead.
We need to take time to acknowledge our extra co-host in your lap there.
Oh.
Oh, Lord.
His name is Joe.
Oh my God, not Joe Clark. This man is crazy. Okay, this is my husband, and he bought that bullhorn to get these kids together, and it's funny. He can do the Joe Clark voice, and I love it.
That's my baby.
Oh my God.
It's my baby. Away from my baby.
Listen, could it be? How often do we really take the chance to say, before I open my mouth,
Never.
am I projecting my personal issue and insecurity on my spouse? Because a lot of times, if you're thinking about it, what we be arguing about is not even what's being voiced at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
It be something, it's an undercurrent there that's not being addressed.
And And your question is what again?
Right.
How
Because that's
often-
everybody. I'm
I'm just saying, it's more of a statement and kind of in a question, like how often do we take the time to really think about, is this a real issue, or am I projecting my issues on this person? And I don't know if we're afraid to communicate because we don't know how the person will receive it, our spouse will receive it, so we mask it as something else. I mean, because I see nothing wrong with, like, you know what, I'm a little bit insecure with this, I'm sorry. This makes me uncomfortable, I'm human, and this is why I feel the way I do. People don't want to be vulnerable.
Yeah, vulnerability is
it's very uncomfortable when it comes to men. I'll tell you that.
But it's necessary.
It is. It's necessary, but it don't take away from the fact that it's an uncomfortable reality for men that they just do not want to address for a lot of reasons. A lot of it goes pretty much all the way back to I don't know, slavery, I guess. You know what I mean? With vulnerability, men always been portrayed as black men always being portrayed as weak.
right.
And
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, so on and so forth. So it is a constant fight. Even when we go into, let's say, our place of employment, it's so much fighting that we have to do, and actually a whole bunch of faking that we have to do, to even to progress, you know what I mean, in this society. And unfortunately, we do kind of take it out on our spouses. We can't really be true. We be dealing with residual issues. By the time we hit them doors, do you know how much we done went through by the time we done hit them doors? You know what I mean? And then here we come with some, all right, it may be valid. Maybe I should have picked up my shoes. You know what I mean? I'm sorry you tripped over them 3 times, but you should have picked them up on the second.
You know what? Next question. So how long should courtship take place prior to engagement? At what point should the woman eject themselves from the relationship? Now, I understand there's some women that like to ask men to marry them, and I'm not going to talk about you or any type of way. That's
ain't none of them in the room.
Yeah. But we talking about, what's been more traditional. The man asks the woman. So how long am I supposed to play around with you before you ask me? How long should this go on?
I'll say 2 years.
2?
Yeah.
What you think?
that's tough, man. I don't like putting a calendar on stuff, man.
I mean, but don't you think when you want to marry a person? Don't you know?
Yeah, I think if you want to marry a person within like 6 months. I think if you want to marry a person because I think within 6 months things are gonna happen, good and bad, to where you kind of know what this person makeup is all about. Now, of course, you want to know a little more and more detail, but I mean, there's people who've been married for years and they spouse do something that was so uncharacteristic, and you be like, damn, do I even know your ass?
You're right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I think 6 months to a year, you'll know if that's the person that you know what, I can see myself spending my life with this person.
Right.
But as far as a girl waiting to get it, for the guy to propose, it's one of them things, man. Y'all gotta understand again how we raised is how we kind of do things. So a lot of guys feel like, what's the saying? Why buy the cow if you already getting the milk?
Yeah, absolutely.
Type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really more so if you are already treating this guy like he your husband and you doing all this, then why would he go through spending all this money on the ring and the wedding and all that type of shit?
Right.
So should she hold out on sex, or are you talking about like you coming over here, you giving him some, you cooking and cleaning his house?
It's more so like hey man, you know what I'm saying? Like where we at? You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah.
Bro, what we doing?
Right.
Like you gotta have that conversation. Like what we doing?
But when you say doing wifely things, is that just giving up the booty, or is that giving up the booty, cooking, cleaning, and doing all that?
His piece of chicken should not be that big.
Doing all that.
Right.
Doing all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you get the paper plate, bro.
So should she hold? Should she hold out? Should she hold the vag?
No, what I'm saying is she need to have that conversation.
Get that
You
up.
can't say you can't say.
And if that
Now get that up.
if that conversation,
You getting beside yourself.
if that conversation ain't moving him, ain't making him, like, what, yes, blah, 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 and then you waiting like another month or two, yeah, you need to stop. You need to stop doing anything. Like, nah, we're gonna have to stop this.
The moral of the story is please communicate what your intentions are. You know, I mean, on both sides. If that's not what you want to do, it's a couple females that I know in my past that I appreciate them telling me in the beginning the direction of the relationship or the potential of the direction of the relationship. That saved me a lot of money. You know what I mean? You know, that saved me a lot of money. So yeah, you may get a rose, right, on Valentine's Day, opposed to if we was kind of like in a real relationship. Now you may get a like ring or something. You know what I mean? So yeah, establish that in the beginning. Hey, this is the direction. I don't want to play around with it, but you know we're gonna see how things go. But you know we're gonna be exclusive with each other. If that's something that you want to do,
within 24 months.
Yeah, and I want to get right, and I want to get married within 24 months or whatever, you know, and then we can, all right, cool.
So when should this conversation be had?
I would say it's nothing wrong with me having that immediately.
Yeah, I would say in the first few dates, like, what your intentions are. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Because people don't want to have them conversations. They just go along with the flow and just, then they start having sex. And, then, they don't have that. You got to put that out there, man.
Yeah.
That's absolutely right, because I don't think Byron and I even had that conversation of what I think we kind of...
We did.
We did?
We did.
Oh, well,
we had that conversation. We had that conversation. Remember, that was the conversation about expectations. It was like, when I told you, hey, lower your expectations. Let's just see how things go and go with it. You know what I mean? But don't have any type of expectations over me, because I guarantee you I will disappoint you. You know what I mean? Because there's no way that I can rise to your level of expectations. I don't know you. I'm trying to get to know you. So
I mean, that's kind of vague, and that's kind of contradictory to what we was just saying.
No, in the sense that we're still going to pursue a relationship. It's just the expectations of what I said. This is the word I said. Unrealistic expectations.
Okay.
Unrealistic expectations. Now, expectations for a relationship to grow from just dating to marriage is realistic. But, you giving me a timetable and saying that, okay, well, I need to this and I need to be this type of guy under this, within this type of time frame and stuff like that. No, expect what you have, what you see. Expect that. Just expect that. And then we'll move from that point on.
Okay, so I'm wrapping this question up. My viewpoint on it is, after a year, we gonna visit this couple. I mean, what's going on? Where are we going from this? And it especially depends on the age, because I mean, if you're in your mid-30s, I'm not about to give nobody 3 and 4 years. That's crazy. What we doing? After year 1, what are we doing?
Oh well, yeah. The older
once
you get,
in
man.
your 30s, it's like you get 12 months.
Yeah, you don't even get the 2 years. You don't get none of that. You get 6 months. You get 60 days.
You get the eject button after that.
Man,
okay, so
I need to know.
Next question. Why is it that men want ambitious women but end up complaining about how busy they are?
Lord have mercy.
I think it's, I don't know. Big fella. Take that.
I've never complained about a woman being too busy. Actually, you know what? Let me take that back. I've talked to women who are too busy, but I never, what was the first part of that question? Like, I never asked them. I never said I want, a woman to be ambitious, which ain't no problem with a woman being a go-getter and being ambitious. But I don't want to flip it over to men, but women who are ambitious and who are go-getters, that's very attractive to me. That's very attractive. I love that. But women love to say you make time for what you want to make time for. They
absolutely.
love to say that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the same women, a lot of times don't practice what they preach.
Practice what you preach.
So
Can't stand her.
So yeah, I love that, and I don't mind a woman being busy because I'm busy, but let's communicate, let's talk, and let's find a day that we're not going to be busy and commit to that day.
Right.
I'm not the one to be leaving stuff hanging. Oh, we might see each other Saturday. Nah. If there's a might to it, I'm Xing that day off.
Okay.
We gotta have a day committed.
That's
well, damn.
Yeah, I mean, but that's organization.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to have what it sounds like to me from all of the questions and the answers. We just really need to communicate. You know, we need to communicate our desires for the situation. I can deal with that, but when you leave it up in the air, you know what I mean? It's nothing. What can I do with that? I have to have my life organized, right?
Okay.
I have to organize everything that I do. Go ahead, babe.
I'm sorry to cut into you, but we gotta go to break. We gotta pay some bills. We'll be back. And we're back. Shout out to our sponsor, Scouts Honor Clothing Company. They got some fly gear, y'all. Check them out. And we're turning the mic to Shelby the Great.
I just got one question. All right, now I don't know how to set this up, so I'm gonna just ask it.
Okay.
I know how to respond to it, and I have my thought about it, but I really do want to understand this because I see this more so with women than I do men. So this is the question for the ladies. What was the last thing you learned genuinely from an older woman?
Oh,
Ooh,
I can't even
Hot.
answer that question.
that question was steamy.
I can't even answer that question. Fee?
Well, I think I learned a lot about how to treat a man, or the importance, or exactly like from my grandmother. Like she showed, like, you know, she was like very submissive to my grandfather. She kind of took care of him and she assisted him in pretty much what he did. He was a pastor and did agriculture, was a farmer, like all type of stuff, and a hellion. And and you know, and she really showed me like how to take care, like how to just like be there and take care. I think that some things, no, I don't agree with everything she did, but for the most part, I think that she laid a good blueprint on how to you know, be a supportive helpmate for a man.
So that was the last thing you learned?
Right.
How long ago was that?
I mean, I think that's like all throughout. That was throughout my life. Now,
No, I'm talking about the last thing. The question
last-
was
3 days
the
ago.
last thing. Okay, so you learned something.
yeah,
three
You know what
days
I'm saying?
ago?
Like, you
Yeah,
know,
like
so,
No, just,
yeah,
we
so
just
we
talking
gonna
about
leave
the
that with
last
my grandma
thing.
then, because I don't know about nobody else that I really was looking up to like that.
That's the big question.
And that to me is it's like we got telepathy going on over here because I didn't even know why he asked that, but now I know that's the problem.
It is.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yes.
Like a lot of women, like a lot of like me, like older guys, we always talking to younger guys.
Yes.
Like always. Like I see a 15, 16, 17-year-old, I'm like, look, man, you know, blah 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 blah. Even if it's a 5-minute conversation, like we like trying to help. But I think a lot of times with women, a lot of older women are not taking in like younger women and just kind of helping them. I don't know if it's because the younger woman don't want her help or like shying away from it, or the older woman feeling like she competing with the younger woman and she don't want to. But we just don't see that a lot.
I do have one older person that I look to a lot. My great aunt. But yeah, I don't think you want. Yeah, yeah, that's a whole nother ball game. But to your point,
Are you talking about Aunt Mabel, honey?
yes, baby.
Shout out to Aunt Mabel, honey. Aunt Mabel something else. Shout out to Aunt Mabel.
I mean, she has not told me anything that was too far from what my grandmother said. other than, you know, she said it in maybe a more X-rated version. But I don't. It's just like the representation of women maybe that a lot of us have or that we run across and stuff is not like somebody that you just really should be listening to like that, you know.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a good example. I mean, the grandma's is like 28 now, so you know.
I mean, when it came to my grandma,
like, you know, like, no, for real. And I always tell people that a lot of women, the first time that they saw a man was when they was laying with one. You know what I'm saying? Like the first time that they was taught to like see a man, have admiration for a man or anything like that or whatever, they was laying with him because maybe their father was not there, and the people that they learned to respect and stuff like that were females just like them, like Big Mama, Grandma, my mama, something or whatever. They you know, Big Auntie, whoever bullied them into submission as they was coming up.
Man, I mean, so with that, with all that being said, it seemed like there's a gigantic miss when it comes to female, you know, women, black women. All right, because we talking that's y'all experience. It's black women. Y'all don't think that that's a problem?
I think that it's a problem for both sexes because at the end of the day, the fact that a woman did not have a male present to look at. I mean, you can't draw one and put him, you know, and put him there. So it like, where was the male that was supposed to be there to help with that part of the rearing? You know, if the mother didn't know, like if she don't know how to teach her how to be with a man, and it's not a man there to teach her, she can only teach her what she feel like she would know or what she would think it, you know, what she think it should look like. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's a gap too because again, just like males go and talk to you know, other young men or whatever, you still it still is necessary for them to have an impression on young ladies too, to show them how they should be treated. Right? Does that make sense?
But we were talking about older women counseling and teaching younger women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If
they don't know what they're looking at, then what they gonna tell you?
True, but his question was, do you see that as a problem?
Absolutely.
You kind of took it to
it is absolutely. Yeah,
that's a big problem.
Yeah, you tried to. That was a good one. You
Shut
tried
up.
to flip
You
that.
tried. She tried.
I didn't try nothing.
Thank you.
You
it's
tried
buffering.
I got help.
Can I offer a question real quick? Can I offer a question? What's up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I got a question, and this is it's so funny because all of these conversations kind of lead into this question. My question is, you know, why do the sisters have attitudes all the time off rip? And do y'all understand how much of a problem that causes when y'all have attitudes just off rip before you even walk into the store? You got an attitude, and, you know. And do y'all recognize that it's a problem? And do y'all recognize, and would y'all, and if y'all do recognize that it's a problem, do you think it's a big enough problem to where you need to seek professional help? Now we talking about women, so don't try to flip it over. We talking about women right now, because a lot of women be having attitudes off rip, like, you know, off rip. Guy ain't gotta do nothing to it. How you doing? You know, just.
Well, I don't hang around no girls like that, but I only see chicks like that at the fast food restaurant. That's the only chicks I know that act like that. So I know they exist, but I'm just saying when I'm pulling through the drive-through and I'm asking for a number 7 or whatever I'm ordering, this fool got an attitude like I'm bothering them.
For asking for some ketchup.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I know they exist, but I don't know. But I will say, to answer, in my opinion, yes, you should get help. But I think some people are just some women are dealing with so much anger inside. It has become the norm. They don't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? It's like smelling like shit. If you smell like shit all your life, are you going to really know you smell like shit until somebody says, you smell like shit, baby, you need to take a shower?
Good point.
You said that?
But no.
You said that's the response?
Yep.
And I want to go back to the, very briefly, because we don't have long. We got 5 more minutes. But I want to go back briefly to the female representation. Like when it came to my side, my grandma, my granddad were in separate rooms. They wasn't even in the same room. you know. And when she watched me when I was little a couple times, and I remember us watching Color Purple. It was a bunch of nonsense going on. I love my grandma for that. We had fun. And my other grandma was so holy, she was no earthly good, so she wouldn't talk about nothing. The only thing she ever told me is, baby, never cut your hair, honey. Never cut your hair. That's it. That's the only conversation we had. And then I heard her talk again when she told my husband to hold the baby head. Baron! And his name ain't even Baron, it's Byron. But Baron, hold the baby head. So with that being said, I didn't have it. And my mama had her own issues with my dad. So it was, you know, she was like, get out because I'm getting a divorce.
That is a community problem. That is a systemic community failure in the black community. That has a lot to do why we keep running into the same issues perpetually, over and over again, where men and women don't get it. Y'all are not sharing y'all life experiences to the younger generation, and they keep making the same mistakes.
Or with each other.
But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, there you go, with each other.
And I don't want to let the guys off the hook either.
Oh no, we never off the hook.
Because even though a lot of women are not doing that with younger women, all guys are not doing that with the younger guys either. I'm just one that always do it, me personally. And then I got a lot of friends, you know, give a shout out to my friends that y'all know who I'm talking about. We spend a lot of time talking to younger men. Like we want to break this cycle so bad of the young men just all, you know, sagging, you know, everybody trying to be a rapper and, you know, just the gang stuff and the, you know, just wasting their youth, wasting they valuable youth, just becoming nothing as adults, you know.
In general, what I've learned since, I will say, Wednesday, well, no, it's been going on, but Wednesday really took the cake. We do not know how to talk to one another. We do not know how to tolerate others' opinions. It's hard to voice where you're coming from when you're automatically faced with judgment about how you feel. That's with anything. So if I can't feel comfortable without you trying to side-eye me and judge me, what am I doing? And we got 3 more minutes, so I'm going to ask this question before we go because we got to deal with it. The election. Joe Biden is now the president. How do y'all feel?
I don't feel no different type of way. Doesn't matter to me.
No.
Yeah, I ain't got a dog in the fight.
Nope.
So, you know, y'all do y'all thing and keep living my life the same way.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunately we missed a grand opportunity. Us black people collectively, we could have came to the table and at least threatened to hold our vote. I mean, we fell over and pushed this democracy. And you know what? I'm gonna share this real quick. I know we gotta go, but I have to share this because this right here just took the cake.
Should we all have voted for Kanye?
No,
okay.
Not at all.
Just
I mean,
making sure.
That's crazy. Where my phone at?
While he doing that, I want to give a quick shout out to Scout Sonner. That's Derek Williams and his wife. That's my boy. And then quick shout out to my barber, Darmel Roby.
You know what? I can't.
Gotta keep me.
Anyway, so it goes like this, okay? And everybody can. I think his name is Brent Rhodes. He used to be the speechwriter for Barack Obama, and he said something. And I'm just going to paraphrase this. He said something similar to, you know, it's amazing. You know, looking at the election, it's amazing how much the black community has done for democracy, although they are the ones like that least get it. You know what I mean? Like we the ones that continue to save democracy, although we don't get it. That's what he said. It's similar. That to me was extremely powerful. So that's all I got to say.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for listening. Check us here again in 2 weeks. Catch up with us at RockyRoadmedia.com. We love y'all for tuning in. Share this video and like it. Thank you. We're out.